It's slaughtering time. So angry. So hungry.
Hey guys, this is Fuller. We're on to the Elementist finally. This would be more of an expansion hero to come later on in the mod, so treat it mostly as a concept. There's probably a few imbalances, but we can iron it all out later on. I got a lot of help from you guys on this one with ideas and balance, so a huge thanks. Alright, let's get straight to it. Starting with the theme, Cho'gall was the leader of the Twilight Hammer clan, whose ultimate purpose was to bring about the Armageddon to the world. They want to destroy all creation. Its membership is a complete mix of not just orcs and ogres, but also elementals. They even lately have close ties to the destructive old gods. Gameplay wise, I wanted a shaman type of hero merged with the warlock spirit of gaining more power at a price. So a lot of self-harming spells, sacrificing health, minions, cards, mana crystals, anything to achieve more power and to completely obliterate anyone who stands in your path. On to the hero, here he is. I showed you him in a previous video. I really think we could use an ogre hero and generally more races and more variation. I imagined he'd have some of the funniest emotes in the game.
Embrace your end.
Next, the hero power. This took quite a while to balance out. It's a blend of shaman and warlock, really getting the theme across. So for 2 mana, summon a random elemental and take 2 damage. So the minions are a bit stronger than your typical hero power, but you take damage like the warlock hero power. I got sounds sent in already for this hero and I hadn't even published it yet. You guys are getting better and better. So there are 4 types of minions. Firstly, rock elemental.
The forces of Earth will demolish you!
It's a 1/2 with taunt, like a Stoneclaw totem with that 1 attack. It can take out 2 Silverhand recruits for 1. Next we have Spark Elemental.
I call upon the realm of fire!
It's 1/1 with charge. It doesn't die, so you can deal 1 damage and still keep a 1/1 on the board, building presence and at the same time being aggressive. Thirdly, there's Hydro Elemental.
Realm of water, give me strength!
It's 1/2 with spellproof, so a mini fairy dragon, just a solid hero power minion to have. Last one is Gust Elemental.
The strength of the wind will be mine!
It's 1/1 with Wind Fury, a little bit vulnerable, but with the class cards coming out, you'll see buffing up minions is no problem at all. Then this can dish out a lot of damage. And here they are, all 4 together. I wanted to keep them fairly consistent. You always get a 1/2 or a 1/1. It's quite reliable that way and easy to build a deck around. A nice variation of the elementals as well. Moving on to the cards, starting with weapons and minions. Kicking it off, we got Elemental Ascendant. For 2 mana, he's 1/2 with adjacent minions have +1/+1. He has obvious synergy with the hero power. Those little 1/1 Wind Fury elementals suddenly become 2/2 and pretty scary. Same with all the others. He has terrible stats himself though, so you can probably want to build a build first. Overall, really good to have in rush decks. On to Corrupted Ent. For 2 mana, it's 1/4 with taunt. Voidwalker's bigger brother. A cheap taunt you can use to protect your little minions, goes really well with Elemental Ascendant. There's also plenty of neutral ones, say Knife Juggler you want to protect. A nice target for stat bonuses as well from clerics and other minions. Next we have Fire Demon. For 1 mana, it's 1/3 with Battlecry, deal 1 damage and deal 3 damage to your hero. A mix of Elven Archer and Flame Imp, mostly an anti-aggro card that's pretty useful anyways. Probably don't want to play this turn 1, but a few turns later really helps establish board dominance. Time for an ogre, it's Ogre Wildtooth. For 3 mana, he's 3/3 with at the end of your turn, give a random friendly minion +1/+1. So if you have a minion out, he's 4/4 stats for free, and if you can keep him alive, you can really get a lot of value out of him. The effect is random though, and not immediate, so not completely reliable. This one's a bit crazy. It is Thunder Elemental. For 3 mana, it's 6/3 with Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion. A lot of damage, but very easy to kill. Ideally you play him on an open board or to destroy, say, a Nerubian egg for the combo. Pretty risky to run, but can deal an insane amount of damage with some combos. This one's my favourite. It's inspired by the old Diablo hero I made ages ago. Some of you might recognise the concept. It is War Elemental. For 5 mana, it's 4/5 with Battle Cry. The enemy can't heal until the start of your next turn. So mostly a finisher card. You get the board, go for face, then play this, stop it and heal. Similar in ways to Loatheb, the effect might be too strong, we'll need to play test it. On to Stone Juggernaut. For 2 mana, he's 5/5 with, at the start of your turn, gain -2/2. So basically a 3/3 for 2 mana when you want to attack. After that though, he becomes pretty useless. Hard to clear for your opponent without at least some direct removal. You can combo it with a silence if you can play them together. Next we have Lava Elemental. For 4 mana, he's 3/6 with charge and Battlecry, destroy one of your mana crystals. Like Felguard, risky to play. If you're running a rush deck with mostly 1 and 2 drops, he might be worth it. You can immediately deal some damage with high stats at a mere cost of a mana crystal. Last one, it's Inferno Ravager. For 5 mana, it's 6/5 with, at the start of your turn, deal 5 damage to your hero. So just like Pit Lord, but you continuously take damage instead. The good side is, if your opponent immediately kills him, then you don't take any damage. You can keep attacking face ideally, you hit him for 6 every time, whilst taking 5 damage. Like a lot of the cards in this deck, risky but could be worth it. And here's a weapon, it is Twilight's Hammer. For 5 mana, it's 6/3 with, whenever your hero attacks, deal 3 damage to your hero. Really good stats for the cost, but you can kill yourself steadily. Another potential finisher card, smash your way to victory if you don't kill yourself first. Now we're on to the legendary. I made this into a neutral legendary set before. I've retweaked him, here he is, Kafun, God of Chaos. For 7 mana, he's 2/9 with, whenever your opponent plays a card, summon a random minion of equal cost. This effect might just be too powerful to have at 7 mana, he might just have to be 8 or even 9 mana. He's a great finisher if you're ahead or even if you're about even, but not good if you're already behind and about to die. So how it works is, if your opponent plays anything, you get something, even if this dies. So let's say he casts a Hex on it, you get a random 3-drop. If he plays a Slam and then an Execute, you get a 2-drop, then a 1-drop. If he plays a Grommash, then an Enrage, you're probably dead. But before that, you get a random 8-drop and a Wisp. On to the spells. Firstly, we have Ascendance. For 0 mana, your next minion costs 1 less and gains +1/+1. So like a mini Innovate, this can be really interesting, as you can speed play little weak minions that usually aren't worth it. A 3/4 Harvest Golem is always nice too, or even a 5/6 Yeti. There's a lot of uses, great early on, but a dead card if you top deck this. Next we have a super damage spell, it's Apocalypse. For 7 mana, deal 5 damage to all characters. Like a Mega Hellfire, more damage, slightly less mana efficient. Very risky, but hey, that's no surprise by now. Could this be run in a deck? That's a good question. Here's a more reliable one, it is Blaze. For 3 mana, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions, and deal 3 damage to your hero. Like a faster Concentrate that kills yourself. Very reliable for board clear. On to Chaos Blast. For 1 mana, deal 4 damage and destroy one of your mana crystals. Obviously similarities to Soulfire, a different take, a great finisher or emergency burst to clear minions. This is my favourite spell, it is Cruel Sacrifice. For 1 mana, destroy a friendly minion, then destroy a random enemy minion. Like a mini deadly shot with a price. Goes great with death rattle minions, especially ones you want to die. Also goes well with your hero power, ensuring you always have at least something to sacrifice. This one's my twist on a Velen's Chosen, it is Kafun's Chosen. For 2 mana, transform a minion into a 5/5 vessel. Ideally you'd play it on a 1/1 token or something like that. Anything else and you're committing a lot to just one card. You can always use it as a silence for enemy minions to smash through taunts and go for face, but can easily backfire. This one's pretty funny. It is Lava Fist. For 1 mana, give a minion +4 -1. Essentially like a bigger Enrage, 1 damage for 4 attack. It can't combo with any Enrage minions though. Good to overwhelm your opponent with cheap minions. This one's just like War Elemental and from the classic Diablo set again. It is Soulburn. For 1 mana, deal 1 damage to a character. It can't be healed until the start of your next turn. A bit more versatile, you can use it as early game removal to finish off damaged minions or on heroes in those critical last turns, stopping healing and wearing them down. On to Molten Core. I showed you this one before, it's been rebalanced. Now for 4 mana, summon 2 free Molten Elementals with Taunt and destroy one of your mana crystals. So you get 6/6 stats and Taunt for 4 mana, but you lose a mana crystal. One Yeti can take both of them out, so ideally you want to use it protect lots of little minions and get good value. This one I've seen suggested a lot in different forms. It is Annihilate. For 6 mana, silence a minion, then destroy it. In a control deck, it could be maybe played. It completely nullifies Death Rattle, so Sylvanas, Tyrion, etc. No comeback for them at all. Next we have Elemental Ritual. For 5 mana, summon all 4 elementals and restore 3 health to your hero. So there are hero power elementals. This is a good reverse on your hero power, summon them and gain life for once. Really good with aura minions. 4 minions with some buffs can do a lot. And this one's really cool. It is Gift of the Old Gods. For 2 mana, draw 3 cards, discard them at the end of your turn. More cards than Arcane Intellect and cheaper, but you better use them straight away. The class does have very low card draw, so I could see this one being played. On to the last one. It's a bit crazy. Chaos Rift. For 3 mana, summon a random 4-cost minion. RNG at its finest. You get 4 worth for just 3 mana, but no idea what you get. Have to be ready for anything. Alright guys, that's it for the Elementist. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We could still use some more weapons, more legendaries. What else would you say? Remember, like I said before, this was very much a team effort. I sent it out a few days earlier in emails to people who had a look and gave me loads of good ideas and feedback. If you want to be added to the mail list, i.e. join the balance team, just email me. The more minds we put together, the better. Up next, I've been building up a reserve of neutral minions I'd like to show you. Not legendaries, just normal ones. Send in your ideas for neutral minions, the more unique the better, I'll show them too. And yes, the Tinker Hero will be coming eventually, someday. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks guys, and see you next time.